going on, guys? Today we are going to show you what complete bike to buy. No matter if you're 8 years old or you are 80 years old. I'm going to go through all the quality of bikes. Little tip, if you find a bike from a previous year, so 2017, 2018 for example, the bike might be a little bit cheaper for something a little bit more quality. From material, metal to components, price ranges and everything. So let's start. First of all, we got the Premium Stray. Now there's many bikes that are in this price range. This bike would be about $300 to $450. This bike has an unsealed headset. What an unsealed headset means is it's little steel balls that run through the headset and you need to constantly grease them for maintenance. This is definitely a downgrade compared to some of the higher end bikes. Next thing is an unsealed bottom bracket. Once again, this has ball bearings that need to be maintained every so often. Maintaining means you need to take it apart and re-grease it from time to time. Another thing with these bikes is the unsealed hubs. So this is ball bearings in the hubs compared to sealed bearings which come on the higher end bikes. One other thing with these bikes, some of them have the seat and post with the old school seat guts. This is a little bit heavier, but it is a nice setup. This is a high tensile steel frame. High tensile is pretty much what comes on the lower end BMX bikes. So if you find something with a high tensile steel frame, it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper than some of the other stuff. So once again, unsealed headset, unsealed bottom brackets, and unsealed hubs with a high tensile steel frame. That's probably what you're going to get with a lower end bike in the $300 to $450 price range. Let's move to the next bike. Pretty much the same thing, except this one has a sealed bottom bracket. That means there's a sealed bearing inside here, which means low maintenance. Other than that, this bike is very much similar to the other bike. And one thing that you might want to look for on these bikes, which might make it a little bit better than some of the other ones, is a fat tire. The fat tire would be considered a little bit of a plus if you like the really trendy looking bikes. Some of these bikes like the HAROs come with something skinnier. So something with a fat tire, you might prefer a little bit more. So remember, this bike, a little bit better quality than the low end stuff, is this has the sealed bearing in the crank. Let's move to the next bike. Next on the list, we have almost the identical bike to all the other ones, including the unsealed hubs and the old-fashioned seat guts. But now on this bike, it's got a sealed bearing in the crank, like before, and a sealed headset. So far, we've had a bike with everything unsealed, including the hubs, headset, and bottom bracket. The next bike, everything was unsealed except for the bottom bracket. The third bike has a sealed headset and a sealed bottom bracket. Other than that, still high tensile steel. So that's this bike. Let's move on to the next bike. This bike too ranges in under $450. So if you're looking for a bike for $450 or below Canadian, then this one is a really nice one with a sealed headset and sealed bottom bracket. Next on the list, a HARO Boulevard. So this bike has a sealed headset, a sealed bottom bracket. This has a seat and post combo, so no more old-fashioned seat guts. So once again, the upgrades on this bike, sealed headset, sealed bottom bracket, sealed back wheel, and a seat and post combo, which brings down the weight quite a bit. It also has those fat tires that we had talked about earlier. All right, let's move to the next one. This is the We the People Curse. This bike has a sealed headset, a sealed bottom bracket, a sealed back wheel. This has a pivotal seat, which is now even more of an upgrade from the other one. So the seat and the post are not attached and they need to be tightened by an Allen key on the top. This also has a chromoly down tube. Everything else on this frame is high tensile steel, except for now we're starting to move into the chromoly. And these have the fat tires. All right, now we're moving to the next one. This is the Radio Valak. So this bike has a sealed headset, a sealed bottom bracket, a sealed rear hub, a tripod seat post, which is another version of a seat post and seat. And then now this has a chromoly top tube and a chromoly down tube. Now this is even more of an upgrade to the other ones. This has a chromoly down tube, top tube, and seat tube. Very much similar to the other ones with a sealed internal headset, a sealed bottom bracket. This has a pivotal post, and then something cool about this one, which makes it unique to all the other ones, along with the material metal. This frame has a free coaster on the rear. What a free coaster is, it lets you ride backwards without pedaling backwards. It's good for backwards tricks like backwards grinds or just doing things backwards. So that's all those bikes. Now we're gonna move on to the big boys. These are the We the People reasons. These bikes have quite a few upgrades that all of the other bikes don't have. Guess what that upgrade is? It's full chromoly. These frames are made out of the highest end steel that you could buy. Everything and every part of this frame is made out of full chromoly. That means the top tube, the down tube, the head tube, the seat tube, the rear chainstays, everything. Rear dropouts, the whole bike is full chromoly. A bike like this retails somewhere in the $800 price range in Canadian. This bike also features the free coaster that I was talking about, along with dual hub guards. It has a pivotal seat, high quality E-clad brakes, 4-piece bars, a sealed headset, sealed front hub, and many more things. And now I wanted to talk to you about one more thing, which would be the next upgrade, 48 spline cranks. Now the We the People reason has an 8 spline crank, which is 8 notches. It's a good crank, but you can always use something which is even more of an upgrade. This is a 48 spline crank. 48 spline means it has 48 notches on the spindle, and then it has 48 splines in the crank arm. These match up, and then you're working with some heavy duty crank quality. I would say for buying complete, if you wanted the best of the best, you'd want to look for the 48 spline crank. Make sure you read in the description. It also would come with a sealed free coaster or cassette hub, sealed front wheel as well. Hub guards are a nice plus also. If you're a bigger guy, you want a longer frame, a pivotal or tripod seat, taller bars are nice. Other than that, you want to look for double wall rims. Make sure, once again, full chromoly is a huge thing. A sealed headset, sealed bottom bracket, sealed hubs, fat tires. That's kind of the stuff that you want to look for the highest end you possibly can. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you later.